Hello and welcome! Today we are in the Tier 8 German aircraft carrier August von Parseval. She is the new Tier 8 German carrier in the tech tree line, and in most aspects she is like a smaller Manfred von Richthofen. Which, well, she is. She has the same AP rocket, she has AP rocket planes just like Richthofen, she has triple torpedo bombers, and she has AP dive bombers. However, as I understand it, most of the planes are just weaker. They're slower, they don't deal as much damage, I believe, I imagine they don't have as much penetration power. So, in that sense, she is just like a mini Richthofen. So, as usual on the Richthofen, and I do the same on August, I start out with my torpedo bombers to try to find some kind of a cruiser, battleship, destroyer, it doesn't matter, to try to drop on, and hopefully I'll get lucky. Because people don't really expect drops this early on. Here, I guess we didn't have much success. I think I dropped slightly too close, and I led too much against the Fiji, so I missed, but that's okay. So some of you might wonder why I drop into the water like I just did right now. That's because I am dumping planes. I am only going to do one strike on the enemy. And there's no need to have 6 extra planes with me, so I'm gonna send 3 back. So they can't be shot down while doing so. And now we're gonna look for a cruiser to try to activate Günther Lütjen's ability, so I need 30 hits from rockets, torpedoes, or bombs together. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but there's only 2 cruisers and 1 destroyer on the enemy team. But it's also not a full match, it's a 10 versus 10. Also, the side of a Baltimore is quite delicious. Although, she might very well angle, in which case we're not going to get any citadel hits. Although, I don't know, maybe even that angling is enough. We might also miss, but the main thing we're after here is simply rocket plane hits so that we can activate the ability of Günther Lütjen's. That will regenerate our planes faster. And yeah, that was angled too much already, and that wasn't due to the sea. Well, I guess technically the cruiser probably turned a little bit, but mostly it was my angle of attack was chosen poorly. Anyway, next up we're gonna try again with these planes, and we drop another one into the water. We need to hit anything really, because we want to get close to that 30, because then we can lose planes and we'll get them back faster, and it's not going to be as punishing in the long term. Especially since it's not like I would be dealing that much damage with my torpedoes or AP bombs at the moment anyway. You know, rockets probably are about as effective as it gets at this current moment. Or at least somewhere similar. By the way, it's a double CV match. We have a Lexington on my team, and up against us are a Shokoku and a Lexington. Oh, there is the Baltimore. Now it depends on how she's gonna turn. I'm gonna expect that she's gonna stay somewhat flat towards the island. But she might not. We'll see whether we have any success this time. Maybe we can get a better angle of attack. Although it doesn't seem likely, especially when she turns in just a little bit. Yeah, it's not gonna work. We're gonna get damage, but probably no citadels again. Yep, simply regular hits, and non-penetrations actually. This is, I guess, where Manfred is superior, I suppose. I imagine the rocket planes have more penetration power. Therefore, they might have done a lot more damage here, because they wouldn't have gotten any non-pens. Or maybe fewer of them. Anyway, I do need to move my ship because it appears that the enemy on the eastern flank is pushing through the sea cap. I mean, we can see an Odin leading the charge, with a Fiji and probably the destroyer and even a Bismarck following. So we definitely don't want to be caught out by those guys. I'm gonna try another strike on the Baltimore, but first I want to drop a fighter plane over my Lightning and the Mogami. Ooh, there is the Baltimore. She is quite dangerous to our 1 destroyer, because the Baltimore does have a 10-kilometer radar, which she can activate from stealth. You see, Baltimore has a 9.9 kilometer concealment range, but a 10-kilometer radar range. Haha! You forget to nerf that one, Oh, please, Wargaming. Forget I said anything. Please don't nerf Baltimore, okay? Please, 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 please. Anyway, now I can get the Baltimore side fairly easily, because she probably isn't going to try to turn for my planes, because she's gonna get punished by the battleships. Which is why it's good night for her. You see the Odin and the Bismarck in front of her. If she turned, she would be showing broadside to them. And because she has 27mm all over, she really wants to show the bow towards the Bismarck because she cannot overmatch it. But if she shows side, well, only death awaits. She had to basically hope for the best. I'm gonna try to drop another fighter on the Lightning, I think. Does it make sense? Especially since it's a double CV match. You never know where CVs might appear. I'm gonna go try to torp the Odin, because she seems to have run aground, which makes her a perfectly easy target. Although it is going to be troublesome because that Lexington is gonna drop a fighter on her. At least that's what I assume is going to happen. But hopefully my planes are fast enough to simply boost through this. You know, before the fighter arrives. Because it takes time for the fighter to... Yeah, look, I'm out of the circle by the time the fighter arrived. So actually, this means I can now turn around and go again. Because I will only have one plane. But I did turn the wrong way, to be honest. Although I suppose maybe it wouldn't have been so great to run into the Bismarck's AA. Not that it really matters, she is flooding and she doesn't have the greatest amount of HP at this point. Also, the salvo from the Zara helped quite a bit. That Zara's positioning is quite surprising. I'm really surprised she hasn't been taken out already. Let's compliment the Lexington, because if you notice, the Lexington also struck the Odin. And when you both strike one target, it tends to help the... it tends to help because the enemy can't possibly dodge both of them. Right? Okay, let's just try a random drop on the Öland. Probably won't work, but you never know unless you try. And these torps are actually one of the best for hitting destroyers as far as torpedoes go on planes. Ooh, we got the rudder of her. Which means that she has used damage control party, most likely. Oh, okay, never mind. She was taken out, so let's just pivot over to the Odin and just do a long-range drop, because this isn't the most important thing to line up properly. Next up, we go with bombers, and we're gonna go after the Odin again. Okay, I think they might have dropped the fighter, so I'm gonna drop one set into the water again, and then do a follow-up. I'm gonna try to hide behind an island so I don't suddenly get blapped into my side. Should drop a fighter here for the Bismarck and the KGV. It also protects me, to be honest. Odin pushed through the bubble. This means that the fighters are definitely not gonna help her. Come on. I think that's pretty good. Never mind. Nope, that wasn't good at all. Let's try again then. So, both teams have lost 3 ships. Both teams have 2 cap zones. It's about as even as it gets. By the way, our Zara somehow is still alive. Okay, they're ahead now, but I think they're gonna lose their Odin in return. There's no way she's gonna be able to survive all of this. She does keep dodging for my AP bombers though, which makes sense, you should be doing that. But I don't think she has much time left. I'm gonna go do a follow-up, because I want to make sure she actually goes down. I've had so many ships survive recently with like heals and whatnot after she gets really low, that I really have this urgent need to try to finish these ships off. Even though here it was completely useless, right? Because the KGV did it. But you never know. Maybe the KGV happened to go somewhere where she can't fire, and the Odin just heals up to back like 10k again, and then one strike isn't enough anymore. I think I might actually go do the drop on the Shokaku. Because at this point, why not? With rocket planes, about the only things we can hit for a lot of damage are CVs, and Shokaku should be a target that I can deal a lot of damage to. Besides, it might help me, especially since the Odin might be able to finish her off, in which case the air battle would become much easier. Come on! No Citadel hits. Maybe I simply hit the wrong spot. But anyway, it took 10 minutes to actually activate the ability of Günther Lutyens to get over 30 hits, and it still came down to a rocket plane strike, right? Because look at it. The bombs and torps add together into 7 hits, whereas the rockets are 33. It's much easier to get your hits up with the rockets than any of the other ones. I would like to be able to hit this Fiji, but I think this is gonna be... how do I put this? Ambitious. But maybe this will turn the Fiji towards my team, and perhaps she might not be able... perhaps she will get into a situation she can't extricate herself from. Never mind, she's gonna turn in, but this also means she's gonna eat these torpedoes, I believe. I hope. Fingers crossed. Well, she took 2 of them, so there's that. Now we do a rocket follow-up. These can deal a lot of damage to a Fiji. So, when I line up my strikes, I think of 2 things quite often. Number 1, which way do I have to approach to actually deal damage? And number 2, if the enemy tries to dodge me, right? How is she going to turn? This might not seem that important to you, you know, because you can probably adjust to line up your attack. But it is important if you can make the enemy turn in a way where your teammates can take advantage of that. Also, I just completely missed those rockets, sadly. It happens. Anyway, let's do a follow-up. Hopefully we can sink the Colorado. By the way, the enemy team is ahead. They have 6 ships, we have 5. But I'm hopeful that we can finish off this Colorado, and then we should be okay. I assume she's gonna go south. By the way, the Zara is still alive. Unbelievable, but somehow our Zara has managed to do it. Also, I was mistaken. The Colorado went the other direction instead. Fiji did take out the KGV on our team. This puts us even further behind. 4 versus 6, but I think we can deal with the Colorado. Especially since I think Zara will help us again at some point soon. Yep, there it is. Goodbye, Colorado. And we can do the follow-up on the Bismarck because we still have 6 planes. Although I think that Lexington is gonna drop a fighter on top of the Bismarck. Double CV games does mean that there's gonna be a lot of fighters. I probably should have used my fighters better this match, but hey, it happens. Dodge these. Wait, what? I was unable to dodge those? At least not fully? That was kinda weird. That should have been a dodge. Oh well. Okay, this was a horrible drop. But RNGesus decided to smile upon me instead. I'm debating what to launch, but fine, rocket plane or dive bombers it is. I'm gonna turn my ship around to try to sail more towards the Lexington because I'm looking at the state of the game, and it's likely our Bismarck is going to die. Therefore, it will be a fight against the 2 enemy CVs. Which means that having more anti-air together is better, because it will make us very, very difficult to strike. Hello, Synup. Fancy seeing you over there. By the way, the scores are still even. Well, okay, the enemy took the lead right now, as they finished off our Bismarck. But I'm hopeful. Okay, dodge these. Yep, easily. Oh god, she's turning. Not the greatest drop, but we still did 10k. Shokaku's coming to strike me, although I don't think she's gonna have too much success. I'm gonna go with dive bombers again on the Synup. And hopefully we'll be able to deal even more damage, and combined with the Lexington, we might be able to finish her off. I'm gonna try to basically keep sync with the Lexington because of the anti-air. By the way, the Zara is still alive. And she's actually capping the base now. This Zara is unbelievable. I really can't believe that she survived all of that. And she's been useful the entire time too. Come on. Oh god, I actually didn't dodge that flak bubble, and I started to strike way too early. Oh god, please? Okay. That was a huge mistake. Anyways, we're gonna do rocket planes now as a follow-up against the Fiji. Lexington's using her rockets too, and I think that way we should be able to deal with her. And then we should be comfortably ahead, because our Zara is just that amazing. I asked the Lexington which way she wants to move, because I think we should be moving towards either the A or C camps, but if we do move, we should do it together, not alone. I do need the broadside of the Fiji. Curious that she isn't trying to dodge at all. By the way, to those who don't know, all the rocket planes have a drop circle that's something like this, even the HE ones now. Which means that you want to turn towards the strike of the planes or away from them. That way you take a lot less damage. Also, this drop was way too high, which is why I didn't finish her off, but this follow-up should work. Fiji is definitely a ship that's maneuverable enough that should have been able to avoid these. Anyway, I'm just gonna start going, because there are no surface ships now, and I believe my ship is tanky enough. Currently, we're gonna stop for a bit, but then I'm gonna move again. So, I wonder who they're gonna strike. Is it me or the Lexington? I would personally try striking the Lexington, because she's a bigger target and probably much softer. That is, the citadel of the Parseval. Actually, all the Germans sits kinda low, so I imagine so is the Parseval. I personally am going to strike their Lexington, but then again, the choice between Shokaku and Lexington isn't quite as big, I think. Although Lexington is still the biggest of the bunch. I think, at least. Come on, Citadel! No! No, non-penetration, but it seems, for whatever reason, I was unable to do so. I don't actually know where the Citadel of Lexington is. Anyway, next up. The enemy is pushing mostly because they need points. So they either need to kill us or cap. Therefore, getting closer is better because time is eventually gonna run out for them. 1 minute and we win by points. The nice thing with 2 CV striking 1 CV is the fact that the auto fighters don't really protect them as well. Come on! I guess the angle is... yeah, this time the angle was definitely not good enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do a full strike here. Ooh, I got an air defense expert medal. I guess they are choosing me. Or, I suppose I'm the closer target now. But that's okay, I have plenty of HP left. Only 4k from those. I believe they were AP bombers. Let's see if the dive bombers can do anything to Lexington. Because I don't really have that much... oh, never mind, I guess we won't really find out because Lexington's already dying. Due to the well-placed torpedoes by my Lexington. But we might still be able to secure the Lexington kill. Ooh, and that was a citadel. So apparently the August von Parseval is capable of citadeling a Lexington with AP dive bombers. And there we go. Only 105k damage, but I shot down 45 planes and sunk 6 enemy ships. 45 planes shot down, so I did most of the anti-air. And then I also sank most of the ships. In fact, I sank twice as much as the rest of my team combined. And I probably shot down even similar amounts of planes. But yeah, I compliment the Lexington because she played really well. And so did our Zara, right? So let's take a look at the damage panel or detailed report. Yeah, we actually did damage to all 10 enemies. You know, 6 warships destroyed and 4 warships damaged. Pretty damn good, I have to say. 86k anti-air damage. You don't see these kinds of numbers every day, but then again, I am an aircraft carrier, and if the enemy is forced to strike next to me, that damage ramps up very quickly. Let's be honest, this game I mostly just finished off ships. I didn't do the bulk amount of the damage. I bet the Lexington did most of that. But then again, finishing off is important too. So let's go over the commander skills and upgrades. It's the same as usual. Air supremacy, improved engines, survivability expert, site stabilization, aircraft armor, concealment expert, and then last gasp and improved engine boost. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, it is called improved engine boost apparently. Equipment wise, it's also standard. So flight control, you want your planes to regenerate faster than the dive bomber one, because you have a heal and they're probably really good. Then I go for the secondary range one because it does put you at 9 km secondary range, aircraft engine mod, and air groups modification 1, and that's it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.